Welcome back to AsappJobs lab, and today we will be seeing the difference between a reference variable and an object in Java. So let's assume that we have a class called test, and if you wanted to create a reference of this class type, then this is how you would create a reference. Okay, so this is a reference of test type. Now if you wanted to create an instance or object of test class, then to do that you would write something like this, right? So here what is happening, first part, which is this. So here we have created a one reference variable which will refer to this object, the object which is created by this new keyword, right? So which will be referred to test object. So in short, you can say that whenever you execute this line, that means you are doing two things here. First thing is you are creating a reference variable. So in this example, T1 is a reference variable. And the second part is through new keyword, you will generate an object, and this object will be referred by this variable. So I have seen people that sometimes they'll get confused. They'll be thinking that here T1 is the object itself, but this is wrong. A T1 is not an object, is a reference variable who is referring to an object. Now let's dig more into this and let's understand this scenario from memory point of view. In Java, all types are divided into two categories. First one is the primitive types, which include int, long, char, boolean, where all this type will have a fixed size. And in other hand, we have a reference type, and in this we have objects like string, arrays, where the size of these types will vary at the runtime, right? If you talk about array, then at the runtime we can increase or decrease the size of the array. Similarly for the string, initially we can have a small string length, let's say hello world, we can assign to one particular string, but later on we can change this hello world to something big string as well. So like primitive types, here the size is not fixed, it will vary at a runtime, and this difference is based on the manner in which memory is allocated to the variables of these types. So let's take one example here. So let's say if we have this statement int var 15. So once we'll execute this, then from memory wise you will see that it will consume a block of 4 byte, and this memory it will take from stack, right? So if you visualize in stack, so it will be consume 4 byte here, and the address of this would be something, let's say 1000, and inside this 15 will be assigned. But when we execute this statement, as we have seen in our example, test t1 equal to new test, then what it essentially do, it will create one reference variable type t1 on stack. So it will have some memory address, let's say 2000, and this will refer by variable t1. But inside this, it will have an address of this object. So let's say 3000 is the address of this object. And now you must be thinking that where this object has been created. So whenever we create any object using this new keyword, then that object will be created on the heap. So like stack, we have heap as well. So here we will be having this test object, and address of this object will be 3000. So it will refer to this address like this. So this picture clears one thing, that whenever you execute this statement, you will be creating basically two memories. One memory will be created on the stack and another memory will be created on the heap. And the memory which we have on the stack, that memory is consumed by a reference variable, and the memory which we have on the heap side, that memory is consumed by object. So remember this always. And if you have a situation like this, test t, where we are not assigning anything, so at this situation we will be creating one memory on the stack. Let's say memory address is 10,000, and that's it. So in this case we can say that this t is going to refer to test object, but right now it is pointing to nothing. So later on, let's assume if you are doing this operation, t equal to new test, then one test object will be created to some random location on the heap, and this address will be stored inside this variable t, like this. So I hope that this is pretty much clear now. Now you can see that what is the difference between a reference variable and an object in Java. So I hope that you like this video, and if you liked it, then please share among with your friends, and please subscribe this channel if you have not done so far. To get more video notification like this, please hit the bell icon as well. So thanks again for watching us, and see you in next video.